So, we've talked about perfect competition, and we've talked about monopoly, and now I want to start talking about a third market structure called monopolistic competition. So, let me make a little bit of a table here. So we have perfect competition, we have monopoly, and then with elements of both of those, monopolistic competition. And because it has elements of both of those, that's why it's called monopolistic competition. So part competition, part monopoly. And first question is the number of firms. Of course, in a monopoly, we just have one firm. In perfect competition, we have many firms. And the same thing's true of monopolistic competition. What about how easily firms can enter the market? Yes, we had free entry with perfect competition. And yes, we also have free entry with monopolistic competition. And no, we did not have free entry with true monopoly. What about product differentiation? Remember that with perfect competition, each firm's output is a perfect substitute for the others. So no, we do not have product differentiation in perfect competition. On a monopoly, yes, we do have product differentiation. If the monopolist faces other people out there who have close substitutes, then they're not really an economically meaningful monopoly. And for monopolistic competition, we're going to be sort of halfway in between those. So, yes, there is product differentiation, but the product differentiation is kind of weak, so that it makes sense to talk about a bunch of firms in a given industry who are all having slightly different products, but they don't have a unique lock on their particular type. So essentially what we're going to look at here is something like almost everything in the retail sector is a form of monopolistic competition, because there is product differentiation. So, different shoe stores have slightly different mixes. Some are more for athletics, some are more for family, some are more for people who are doing business, some are high fashion, or different restaurants. There's restaurants, and then there's Chinese restaurants and Mexican restaurants, and fast food, and even within fast food, there's a little bit of product differentiation there. So almost the entire retail sector here is monopolistic competition. Likewise, something like movies are probably best thought of as monopolistic competition. There's an overall movie category and then subcategories of that of romantic comedy. And within the romantic comedy, there are different movies and different large studios, but no one studio has a big lock on the overall market here. Going away from what describes the particular market structure, it's worth taking a second to review some of the results. Do we have long-run profits in perfect competition? No, because of free entry. When there's free entry, if firms are making profits, they're going to attract competitors, and those competitors are going to drive down prices, and that's going to go ahead and lead economic profits to not be sustainable. It's also going to be true that long-run losses are not going to be sustainable, because if there are losses, some firms will exit the market, and that will go ahead and lead prices to rise, and then we'll get back to our zero economic profit, long-run equilibrium. Can we have long-run profits in a monopoly? Yes, we certainly can, because there is no free entry. If there were free entry, then you wouldn't be a monopolist for very long. And what about the relationship between price and marginal cost. In perfect competition, price did equal marginal cost. So the price out there in the marketplace of the product had a close relationship to the underlying use of society's resources, and that's one of the things that makes it perfect competition. For monopoly, this is very much no. And we're going to go ahead and leave these two blank, and I'll fill them in some of the next video segments.